All right, welcome back to the SU Gang podcast, everybody. Welcome back to episode 18 specifically. Um, Week after the Super Bowl, a little depressing. There's no sports really. I mean, outside of like probably the NBA All-Star game, there's like really nothing else to do or watch
Yeah,
outside of
All-Star
probably
Week.
season 7 of Young Sheldon. And I mean,
I
I
was
like Young
watching that.
Sheldon.
I
I
think it's
like Young
fun.
Sheldon. I like literally when I was in Syracuse, I like binge watched that show. I'm dead serious. Uh,
I've been
like
binge watching it after
Nice.
skiing.
That's
Yeah, I saw you
yeah.
were texting that. I don't know if you guys are into Star Wars, but the Bad Batch season 3 is coming out. There's a 3 episode premiere on Wednesday on Disney Plus, so I'm very excited for that. It's the finale season, and I'm just overall happy they're making a show that's like the Clone Wars animated style again, because that is one of the greatest things I've ever watched. So happy they're bringing that
Nice,
style back.
nice, nice, nice. Also February, depressing. It's actually it's really depressing. But
It's all right.
bright side though, baseball is back in 5 days. Well, kind of. Preseason slash spring training. So not really, but kind of. So, I'm still gonna be watching some Cubs preseason action. Can't wait for that. But that's like the only thing that it literally excites me about this month. But other than that, uh, football not gonna come back for another about 6 months technically because of preseason. But we're not as invested in preseason as really as much as regular football. But we got the drafts, free agency. So can't wait
All-Star
to get to
Week
that.
NBA was happening. Stefan v Sabrina and the 3-point challenge yesterday was very
Also,
entertaining.
real quick, before we get into before we get to our stuff, our usual football stuff, MLB, Nike partnered with Fanatics and
Terrible
to make
jerseys.
new dude. Oh my god,
Yeah, we were
they
going to
are
talk about the
so
MLB.
garbage. They're actually like it's the MLB. I love baseball so much, but the MLB just like wants to embarrass themselves. Like they're just like, oh, NFL, NBA, just please be better than us. Like we will do everything in our power to suck compared to you guys, which it's actually sad,
So
but
they say the uniforms will improve mobility by 25% and dry 28% faster. So they're not stitched anymore, right? Is that what I'm seeing?
no, they're not. I don't
And they're
I
less
don't
bulky.
believe
So
so.
apparently comfort wise and stuff, they're saying it's expected to fade away.
Well,
But it is pissing off a lot of fans. Oh yeah, there is no stitching. Wait, let me share my
they
screen.
are.
I think I found some photos. Hold on.
I hate you,
I,
Rob Manfred.
I
Let me know
love
if
me
this
a
is
nice
like,
stitched jersey. I love it. Oh my God, those Cardinals jerseys. As a Cubs fan, I hate the Cardinals, but those jerseys are so fire.
They
Those
are good.
powder blue, they're so clean.
the
Also,
Diamondbacks
Bobby,
looks decent.
did you guys see the Cubs spring training hats? They are so
Yeah,
clean.
they're nice.
They are like powder blue with
Oh
the
wait, this
like the
is 2020.
Cub
I'm
walking.
old.
They're so
Uh, Redesign. Oh wait, this Mets one is okay. This is the new Mets apparently.
what the
Yeah, their
oh
City Connect allegedly
eh.
is like basically the Yankees jerseys, just with the Mets logo on it.
Wait, are the Yankees getting a City Connect jersey?
Unfortunately, not because
Is that like City Edition for
Damn.
NBA? Because
yeah,
NBA does
Yeah.
that too, and like it basically means like they can do different colors. Like if you watch the NBA, for
the
example,
Heat.
the Bucks, they're like green and white. They have blue jerseys, and then Warriors, they have the flower and black one, but the black ones they adopted as their home jersey now, for example. So, um, yeah, it's different than in the 2015 through like 2020 era. Um,
Yeah. Also, I have
Yankees.
like a Cubs City edition. I don't have the jersey, but I have like Cubs City edition shirts and I have a Cubs City edition hat. Yeah, I have the hat. The,
These look
the
like the
hat
Tennessee
is
Titans, bro. Except the red.
no, the hat is so fire though, dude, with the Chicago
That
Star
is
and
clean, but like it looks good.
the powder blue on the hat, like well, on the like the you know what I mean, like this part of the cap, like this part right here, like the powder blue is actually fire. So
What do you think about these gray jerseys, Bobby?
The Yankees
I like them.
redesigned jerseys. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. I like them
I like
personally.
the more simplistic look.
They look like
But
the Field of Dreams one.
yeah, they do.
Actually, speaking of Field of Dreams, I'm wearing the Cubs Field of Dreams shirt right now.
Oh,
Can't wait for baseball.
yeah,
So
that's gonna be
excited.
fun.
All right. So yeah, that's a big MLB thing. NBA wise, Stefan Sabrina was pretty entertaining. Uh, Even people who were like doubting it, saying it could be scripted, like it actually turned out really entertaining. Like, she shot at the NBA 3-point line, which was pretty huge, but she used WNBA balls, but she did pretty good. Like she did 26 in that, which is better than a lot of the competition in the actual NBA 3-point. And there's a chance Steph might have won the 3-point because he scored 29 if he actually competed in that, which was a score no one got in that. But obviously, he did his own thing for charity. So we got like 25 grand and money on each of the shots made going to charity, each of their charities. So that's a very cool thing. Dame repeated as the 2-time champ for that. It was him, Cat, and Trae Young in the finals. Cat won it in, I think, 2021 or 2022 as the first big man, and then Dame won it for the first time back to back since 2007, 2008. So that's very cool. I didn't watch the rest of the All Star, to be honest. Also, they had a new LED court in Lucas Oil Stadium, which looked very freaking cool. I'm gonna be honest,
Mm.
like they could animate it and change it based on the events. But if you didn't like neon green, you probably wouldn't like it because Starry sponsored it. So like the
Mm.
court was bright neon green when they were doing the 3-pointer.
Nice.
But yeah, there's some NBA news for you. But yeah, the
Good
main topic of
shit.
today is we might have to split this up into 2 videos, but we're going to be talking about our recent NFL news, and there's been a lot of cut moves and like restructuring moves, and just in general news about our teams regarding the cap in terms of who we're cutting, who we're keeping, potential cuts. So, Bobby, do you want to start? Because I think Seattle, I don't know much about the Bears, but I know Seattle and Giants have some news slash scenarios.
Yeah, so with the Giants, we terminated Ashawn Robinson, Adoree Jackson, and Tyrod Taylor's contracts, which Adoree Jackson, I'm not surprised. I mean, he was signed by Dave Gettleman, who was a horrible GM.
Hmm.
But all points aside, I mean, I like Tyrod Taylor. I thought he played well this season, but it's a business. Um, what
Yeah.
else? We can restructure Thomas and Dexter Lawrence's contract for I think it's 31 million. And
Mm-hmm.
if this team does not either tag or re-sign McKinney and Barkley, I don't know what I'm gonna do because those are two homegrown players that you just let go. I mean, I can understand Saquon. You've had him for 6 years. He's had some injury history, but he contributes so much to the offense.
Yep.
Um, I really can't. It's hard for me to see both of them leaving. I
Yeah.
really hope they can target the offensive line and maybe not a starting receiver, but a solid depth receiver in free agency,
A
and maybe
Marquise
another
Brown or
corner.
something?
Marquise
I
Brown
wouldn't
could
be
be
against
good.
that.
I would want the Bills to target him, Bourne, or Boyd.
Who do you want the Giants to target like as a receiver?
Maybe Gabe Davis. I don't really
That could
know. What
also
is
be a solid one. Well, wait, is he becoming a free agent? I thought it was like the idea of cutting him.
No, I don't think you can really cut him because it says the four. I think it's a 4-year rookie deal, so there would be no point to cut him.
That's
That
fair, but
makes
Um,
like,
sense.
see. I mean, maybe you could. Maybe I think he'd be solid. He's been inconsistent for Buffalo, but he has like a game once a month or month and a half that could be good. But I think Hardy is going to work his way, or not Hardy. Uh, Actually,
Kalishka.
Hardy's been a solid 3, but yeah, Khalil
Deontay Hardy.
Shakir. Well, Hardy's been good. I'll get to him in a second, but like Khalil Shakir, I think is going to work his way as wide receiver too. And if we can get Coleman from FSU or an Oregon wide receiver like late in the first round, I'd be fine with that too. A guy that can develop but doesn't need to be like a wide receiver one immediately. Those two plus Diggs, I think, could be solid. So I'd be down for the Bills to get a late round wide receiver. I think defensive depth because of injuries and a wide receiver would be our top needs. Obviously, the cap is going to be an obstacle, which I'll get into, but I have some ideas for cuts and restructures that they can do.
I mean, if the Giants could get either Xavier Legette from South Carolina, who I've been very high on, or Keon Coleman in the second round, I would be so happy.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would also want Keon Coleman as a Bills fan.
no, I don't blame you. He's a good prospect.
Yeah, especially at the position. But yeah, you said Dex, AT, well, Andrew Thomas, Darren Waller, and Mike Glowinski
Mark
also could be
Lewinsky,
cut.
we could
Glowinski.
cut them for around 12 million. Darren Waller, I mean, he was good when he played this season, but you know, it's just what I worried about at the start of the season was his durability, and he didn't really have any durability this season. He got hurt versus the Jets after a great performance. But I don't know. This team, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, that trade package, because it was for basically we traded Waller for Kadarius Toney. Every team in that trade deal, pretty much, no one won because Kadarius Toney, we all know he's a clown. He's got
He
his
sucks. Yeah.
And he hurts the
sucks.
Chiefs.
And then I think it's Trey Tucker, maybe. I mean, I didn't hear his name at all this year, besides when he scorched the Giants because we suck. But yeah, I mean, no one really won. But you know, it is what it is.
Hey, at
I
least
hate
no one won,
Hollywood.
so that's fair. At least you can't say that. If you
That's
didn't win, at
true.
least no one else won. You know.
And
Yeah,
Waller
no,
still has a chance, but I don't blame you guys for cutting him because he doesn't seem like the same guy he used to be.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
I know firsthand because I drafted him as he was the fourth highest prospected tight end, and I drafted him, and
Fantasy.
he and Aaron Jones fucked me over hard, bro.
Didn't you draft Mr. Unathletic as well?
Uh,
Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas. Oh no! I picked him up late. And he was
Okay.
only good for like one game, but he also did like minimally enough because I had CMC, etc. But then I got Isaiah Likely, and he was a great pickup, and so was Jaden Reed. Mahomes also was another bust of mine. I had him as like my second or third pick, not like overall, but my third pick. And he was a guy I think people were thinking about drafting as their like potentially a first pick. And his only great game was against the Chargers. He wasn't bad, but it's Patrick Mahomes, so he was underwhelming for where he was prospected at.
Statistically,
That's fair.
it's a down here according to
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. But like in fantasy, he's not bad, but he's like, oh, you could get better. But he wasn't bad enough where I wanted to move on from him,
That's fair. Once they get Evans, you'll draft him again. That's
And
my
like
prediction.
Evans.
I'm predicting that.
I think he'll stay with Tampa Bay or go there. I think Pittman also could potentially go over there, but I think the Colts will want him. So I could see either of those two guys going to Kansas City. But like I think Evans especially deserves it. So like if you want to go there and try to win a ring, go ahead. But I think he also has a lot of love for Tampa Bay.
And besides,
I hope he
still
retires as a
Tampa's in a weak
Buccaneer.
division. Tampa's also in a
That's
weak
true.
division, so he'll still be playing playoff football.
but they're
Bro, I
kind of
hope he
stuck
like
in limbo.
retires as a Buck. Like even if he goes to KC, like I'd want him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll predict free agents later. Okay. Bye. Is that all the Giants news you have?
Yeah,
Okay.
I sw-
Oh,
but this is the most important offseason this team has had in a very long time because it's
A lot
either
of-
gonna
a lot of-
it's either gonna help us move
If
on to the
Saquon goes to
future.
Houston, that would be very huge. If he doesn't go to the Giants, I want him to go there.
Yeah, and when that does happen, I will break something.
Oh man, don't blame you.
Oh man, dude. And also, this is a random, but Schultz is trying to apparently he's in negotiations with the Texans to hopefully have a multi-year extension there. And I think it's kind of huge because he got more money from Dallas, but I think he signed the Texans deal to as a deal to kind of try to elevate his own gain to try to go somewhere else for more money. So the fact that, the Texans turned out like they did, like they got Nico Collins, Tank Dell, him, and potentially Saquon. Like, I'm telling you, bro, that's gonna be fucking dangerous offense, dude.
Well,
I am so
I have
excited to
heard from
watch the
some.
Texans next
I
year.
have heard from some Texans fans though that they would also like. I heard some Texans fans say like they know how valuable Saquon is, but they don't want to. Like some Texans fans said that their team is too young to sign someone that can get hurt a good amount. Not saying that
But like
Barkley is
what he
injured.
can bring to the team
Yeah, I know, I
though.
know, I know, I know. I'm not disagreeing with your take. I think Saquon should go there, but I'm saying like, and Texans fans said that they, or some Texans fans told me that they wouldn't be mad, like they would be 100% happy if they got Saquon, but they said they wouldn't
Oh,
mind keeping
they're going
Singletary.
into Saquon's. They're going into Saquon's like comments on Instagram, and they're like, future Texan," and it's pissing
Yeah,
me off.
I
I
don't
just
well,
go
see
there.
they're
like I
well
haven't seen the
maybe
Texan sphere too often outside of looking on their YouTube channel and watching some of their videos from, however YouTube, I mean, NFL team has a YouTube channel. But yeah, I don't blame them. It's just I think there's O-line factors, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but the Giants have had some like worser bad O-lines, and that can
Oh, we
sometimes
have the
contribute
worst.
to
We have the worst
durability.
O
Like
line
CMC,
ever.
for example, is a night and day example. We saw how insane and how injury free he mostly was on the Niners now, and they have a better than average O line, one of the best even in some years. So like you just gotta. I feel like the Texans could, especially if they draft more O linemen, could really help that out. But I see what you mean about not trying to overpay a running back, but I think Barkley's
yeah,
very
no, that's
valuable.
fair. No,
2022, we
I've
saw
just heard
that.
some Texans fans say like they wouldn't mind keeping Singletary.
Fair. I mean, listen, if the Giants don't get him back, I'm rooting 1000% for him to go there. Like that's gonna be insane. But I'm gonna get into some Seattle news. So they informed him he was staying on the roster, which triggers a 12 point or staying through the roster to on the roster to this week, which is triggering a $12.7 million guarantee. And that pretty much is implying he's probably knowing Seattle going to stay this year, and I don't think that's a bad idea. I am against, unless we trade up really high, I'm against completely moving on from Geno. He is not the problem. It's our defense. So I am down with him for another year. He's
That'll
not
turn
the issue
around soon.
whatsoever. I also don't want them to draft someone like JJ McCarthy with their 16th pick. I would want them to trade down, but I'm growing on it a little more now in the sense where I will not completely be in a fit of rage if they draft him, because then they could. I just want at minimum a guy that they'll just have around for a few years where they can sit behind Geno. I would probably rather have McCarthy over Penix now. Um,
Yeah,
but those are
I
my
agree.
thoughts on QB. I would rather though them take a D end because um or like defense because I think linebacker is an underrated need because I don't know if we're going to be able to bring Bobby and Brooks back. They're both going to be free agents. I don't think we'll get both of them back. And there's also the factor of Leonard Williams being $36 million to franchise tag. So unless we work out a deal with him, he's going to walk, and the Giants would have won that trade. So we also need D line. So I would rather them honestly draft defense over a quarterback for that 16th pick.
No, JJ McCarthy for me, he's like I used to really be fiercely, or I don't know what you call it. Like I was very against him. The only way I'm gonna riot if the Giants take him is if we take him at 6. I'll probably break the TV.
Oh no, yeah, that would be a
But
dumbass thing. I'm just saying, like at 16, I'm
I
a
would
little
I
less
would be
angry with him now. But I still think he's a merchant who relies on the team running the ball a lot. So,
no, yeah, but I wouldn't be mad if they took him in the second round, like
oh no,
maybe
yeah,
at
absolutely. I
48
think
or
late
30.
first round, second round, third round is totally reasonable for him. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. In fact, I would be fine if Seattle takes a second or third round QB to try to experiment. I just think like this year, next year, we got to address it, and the quarterback class will be crappy next year. So I'd be fine with them getting a guy to sit behind Geno for a bit. I just hate
It's
the
like
Seahawks fans who are like, "Oh my God, we should have cut him. What are we doing?" It's like, dude, you guys don't know what the hell the problem is.
I feel like Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. I don't know why. I really hope he goes to Washington, and
Mal's like,
I just think he's
In
going
a
to be a
way,
bust.
Mal,
but
if he
it
goes to
makes
the
me happy and
Bears,
mad.
will you be happy if he busts on the Bears? Will you'll be happy and mad? I feel like you should be
I'm gonna
more
stop
mad.
watching football. Stop watching football. If that happens. I'm gonna stop watching football.
What would you
Also,
do
We're
with the
Jamal
done.
Bears?
Adams
We're
is
all
rumored to
bandwagon.
be cut.
I can't.
Also, Jamal Adams
I'm
is
just playing.
rumored to be cut after before next season, and I'm hoping that happens because
That
we
should happen.
overpaid him and he was bad outside of 2020. So
That'll save
please,
you a ton.
I will post the LeBron meme of him crying in the finals on this video and send it to you guys the day that news comes out because
To,
God, we need that guy out. We are spending too much money on safety. We got Love and Diggs. We're fine. Like we don't need Adams, but
that's fair. Um, just talking about Caleb Williams, by the way, I can understand. If people want to think he's going to be a bust, that's fine. I've hated the guy, but not because of his play, more because of his personality. He's always seemed like an ass. But
No,
uh,
I think he also just. Oh, sorry, I cut you off there. But I think it's like his offensive line. He has so much time to throw the ball. And granted, USC probably the defenses in the Pac-12. I'm not really a college
wasn't
football
USC's defense
expert.
horrible though?
No,
yeah,
they
it was
were
pretty
horrible, but also
buns,
I think like I've not seen
buns.
a good defense from the Pac-12. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a college football casual. But he
No, no,
also
no.
has so
That's
much
fair.
time to throw.
You know
Yeah,
more
no,
than
that's
me.
But you
fair.
know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
No, no.
Caleb
Pac-12
Williams
defenses.
taking his Caleb Williams is going to be what might look like Michael Penix out there behind the Commanders or Bears, looking like Penix in that national championship.
I will say this: our O line has gotten better. It's not like necessary. I mean, our our we need a center like really bad. Like I'm like legitimately going to jump off a window if we don't address the center position. I'm done with this team. Like
Ask Cody
that.
White here.
Like this is one of the most important needs. One, like if the Bears don't even like attempt to address this in the offseason, I'll be done. Um, but we could use some more alignment. I will say this: Tevin Jenkins, great guard. We drafted him in the second round of 2021. That guy's a dog. Darnell Wright. Um, other than like the penalty issues, he has some penalty issues, but overall, outside of his penalties, like he's been a great right tackle for us. Like I'm really happy we drafted him. Great pick by Ryan Poles. Like, he addressed a big hole for us. That was huge. Just address a little bit more offensive line. And I will say this: if Caleb Williams busts, which I mean will really piss me off, at least this Bears team is built to the point where like they for the past two seasons have not only had a crap ton of cap space, but they've also had the number one pick. This year we have two first round picks, obviously one of those being the number one. But we cut Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair, which I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
sad
I
that
was
we
going to
cut
ask you
Eddie.
all about that. I was
Eddie
going to ask you
Jackson,
about
he
that.
sucks. Okay, I love him. He was good for us at a point in his career. Really good for us, especially that magical year that we had, that one fluky magical year we had. He was amazing. He was elite. But he ever since he changed his number to number 4, he's like literally been garbage. Like he sucks. And Cody Whitehair, he was solid, but he sucks now, which is why we need a new center, which is why we cut him. And I think that it was a really smart decision to cut both of them. We saved $21 million in cap space, and we get up to $70 million in cap space this year, which is third most in the NFL. So Ryan Poles, this is the most important offseason of your life. I know I said that last year, but legitimately, like Brian Poles and Matt Eberflus, like your job is on the line. You have the third most cap space in the NFL. You have a ton of draft capital, including 2 first-round picks, one of them being the number 1 overall. If the Bears don't make the playoffs this year, the 7th seed, I don't care. If the Bears don't sneak into the playoffs this year, Matt Eberflus, he needs to be fired if we don't make the playoffs. No excuses, no exceptions.
Eberflus.
Yeah, he's probably gonna
And
choke
maybe
us away.
polls too, because like this is one of your best off-season opportunities, right? I feel like you've had in a while. So you need to take advantage of this. And you guys have been building up from 3 to 7 wins. So if you guys can kind of repeat that, you'll get like maybe 10 wins, 9, 10, 11 wins.
And the thing is, like, if I feel like even if the
your
Bears,
division will be tough, though. Your division will be tough, especially with a healthy Kirk
which
Cousins.
is why we're gonna end up being last, because healthy Kirk Cousins, Lions are juggernaut, Packers have a Hall of Famer again. We're gonna suck, but at least we'll be like the best last place team, like we were this year. We were the best last place.
Oh
team,
yeah,
so.
no, a dogfight. You'll be like the AFC North, maybe.
And the Giants will be, and they'll keep Daniel Jones. They'll let Saquon and McKinney walk. They'll draft Roma Dunze at 6. They'll take a bunch of prospects who have 5th round grades in the 2nd round, and the Giants will win 2 games. And Daniel Jones will get his 3rd regime
Another
fired.
coach fired. Holy shit!
Yep.
Insane.
Oh boy. And like, bro, the difference is between the Bears and Giants, bro, that Brian Dable's not bad, bro.
Yeah, no, he's
Brian
not.
Dable's a good coach.
Brian Dable deserves to remain with the G-men, bro.
The thing is, like,
I miss him as a Bill. I miss him as a Bills fan, especially when we had Ken Dorsey, bro. I was like, man, I miss Brian Dable, bro.
Like, I feel like us and the Giants, we've always been the same team. The only difference, like when you deeply look into it, we always get around the same amount of wins. Well, yeah, obviously that, but like as of last year, like it was our roster was better, but our coaching was worse. If that makes sense.
Also, we forgot to talk about the Bills, by the way. My bad, I forgot to address that. But the Bills, like the Seahawks, also have some interesting cap situations. So some moves they could do, and I think would be good, is if they cut Deontay Hardy as much as he did with us with that clutch, that clutch punt or return versus the Dolphins, and in general being a shifty guy. I feel like it'd be better if we cut him, also cut Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White is a great corner, but he's just way too injury prone, and Nyheim Hines, I think, especially with James Cook, Ty Johnson, Latavius Murray, like we have a pretty good backfield overall. And so I think he could be cut. He didn't play this year because he got into a jet ski accident, and the surgery he had to do made him so he couldn't play at all this season. So those are 3 guys I think we could cut to save cap. Regarding Stephon Diggs, he's been a question of whether we should trade him. I don't think so unless we get a good offer, because even though Khalil Shakir outplayed him in the last half of the season, or last few games, and Diggs had his drops, Diggs is still a very valuable and integral part to this team, even as a distraction, because a lot of our other weapons, like Gabe Davis whenever he shows off, Dalton Kincaid, who had a great year and set a franchise record in terms of rookie receptions by a rookie tight end for Buffalo, and Khalil Shakir, like those guys go unnoticed by other teams' defenses when Diggs is on the field. So Diggs creates a great presence for Allen. And he also said he's not leaving, which he shouldn't, because now his drops put him in a position where if he wants out still, he's going to get scrutinized because Allen gave him chances to make plays. And as a star top 10 receiver, he is not making those plays. So, yeah, and Diggs still had overall a good season, despite this year seeming like a down year. Like, his down year is some receivers' up years or really good years. So, I think they should keep Diggs. And then, in terms of extensions, we need to extend Rasul Douglas. I think there's someone on the O line. I forgot where the source was, but I think there's another guy we need to potentially extend. And then we should also try, if I'm the Bills, I'd also try to restructure Josh Allen's contract and Deion Dawkins. Also, Von Miller. I don't know how easy it is, but I saw somewhere as well that Von Miller is a guy we could restructure. He got a massive deal that does have an out after a third year, but if we can try to restructure his contract so it gets spread out, it will really help cap space. So, yeah, restructuring Allen and especially Vaughn's contract, and will free up a lot of cap, and also extending again Rasul Douglas will be nice.